Every day there seems to be a new headline that makes the market go one way or the other, and the next few days it seems to reverse every single time. We're going to take a look at what actually drives the crypto markets, because headline after headline, short-term moves are inevitable, but what is really driving the future of cryptocurrencies? We're going to take a look at this, so if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and let's talk about crypto. It seems that every time we get a Trump headline, there is something that happens in the stock market, in precious metals, as well as in crypto. And over the last week, we've been in the exact same situation where we were back in April of 2025. In April of 2025, we saw massive amounts of news surrounding tariffs. Those were pretty much all, gone by the next few months. Trade deals happened, so on and so forth, and the prices of assets did recover. Now, over the last week, we saw something very similar happen with the US and specific European countries. And over the last 24 hours, well, guess what? We have breaking news. A deal is on the way, and the US is not going to invade Greenland, and things are not going to be as, chaotic as people thought. If you remember, just 24 hours or 48 hours ago, the market tanked. The worst day in the last 3 months. The S&P was down about 1.6%. The Dow Jones was down 2%. Crypto was not spared and was also going down. But over the day, today we get good news and everything rallies back up. Now, what happened in terms of the last little bit of news that we have? We have that there is going to be a deal between US and Greenland. Surprise, surprise. It involves small pockets of land for the US. It also involves Greenland's mineral rights. Obviously, they want minerals. Duration of the deal is an undefined, designed to block Russian influence in Greenland. The U.S. Golden Dome system will be involved and open doors to U.S. back-end infrastructure investment. So again, when Trump comes out and says he's going to slap tariffs on different countries and, take any necessary steps to get that country, there usually is a little bit more behind the scenes that's going to happen, and that is why the markets are so volatile. If we take a look at the volatility over the last few days, you can easily see that people are fearful about the markets every time we get some Trump news. If you look at the VIX, which tracks the S&P 500, the volatility within that, we can see that from January 15th all the way to when the market opened on Tuesday, well, nothing was happening. Everything was good, but then we got a bunch of news surrounding these tariffs over the weekend, and on Tuesday you had volatility go through the roof, from 15 all the way to 20, and it hit a high of roughly 21, only to go all the way back down as this news developed. So you can see that the volatility, the uncertainty, the fear, the doubt that happens in the market happens very quickly, and if you're looking at the short-term moves, well, of course, it's going to have an impact on the markets. But if you're looking at a broader sense, you're looking at crypto, months and years down the road, these pieces of news are not super relevant. And I do like what Benjamin Cohen says here about these news sources and our emotions surrounding these different types of news. Of course, if you are a short-term trader, these things are probably gold mine for you, because that is going to move the market very quickly. But in the broader sense, it's not going to have too much of an impact. Here is what Ben Cohen says. The reason why so many people change their minds about the markets every 3 days is because they react to news headline and let emotions drive their decision. When Trump, said 10% tariffs on European countries over the weekend and then the market opened, it was pure panic. As I said, worst day in stock history over the last 3 months. And then just a couple days later, he says, oh, never mind, we got a deal, and, we rally all the way back up. Now, this is exactly why people, switch from, oh, it's a bull market, it's a bear market, so on and so forth. Being able to pivot when you are wrong is a difficult skill to develop, but there is a difference between pivoting when you are wrong and pivoting on every short-term price change. So I wanted to highlight that because I do resonate with that. I think a lot of people see a green day and forget about the entire, last 3 months of crypto. Vice versa, if people see another red day, then they think it's the end of the world, when ultimately what drives the market, and especially crypto, is liquidity. And as we know right now, 2026 is a year where liquidity will slowly come back in the markets. Liquidity takes time to come in the markets. It's not just coming right away where it's going to send everything to the moon. Because if we take a look at, the FOMC meeting that is coming up in a week, well, unfortunately, we are right now pricing in no rate cuts or no, rate hikes, basically a rate pause. And that is what we have forecasted for the next 3 meetings up until Powell really leaves his term in May and we get a new Fed chair in June. But that is, for the next 3 months, liquidity conditions in terms of interest rates are likely not going to change much, which again is not necessarily going to drive crypto back up. Now, something else that's happening right now, slowly but surely, is the fact that quantitative tightening has stopped. This is a good thing, and quantitative easing is slowly but surely starting. As you can see, there is a bit of a bump on the Fed balance sheet. But I want you guys to realize that when this happened in 2019, remember, it started slowly but surely in September of 2019. And you can see that, from September 2019 all the way to February 2020, this is about 5 months of quantitative easing, but the markets weren't rallying too much. And as you remember, 2020 in March, we had the pandemic and things just went absolutely crazy all the way back to the low. Panic all over the place if you were, in the COVID-19 stock market or crypto market and you saw everything flush because of short-term news, well, you would have gotten absolutely wrecked because then what really drives the market is liquidity. And as we can see, liquidity came running through the roof over the next 2 years, peaking in 2022. And during that, we had the 2021 bull market for crypto. And that is what really drives the markets for crypto. So yes, liquidity is a massive thing. Business cycles are a true thing. Right now, we are not in an expansion in the business cycle, but we are getting these pieces of news every other day about tariffs, about different geopolitical things that is going to impact the markets in the short term. So I wanted you guys to really understand that, this is short term, but we have to think more about the long term. And the long term is still undecided in my opinion, because if you look at Bitcoin's charts, we are essentially back in this absolutely boring range where we have been in the better part of the last 2 months. If we take a look at, this 4-hour chart, or even I go into a daily chart, this is what we've seen Bitcoin do ever since middle of November. It's been 2 months where Bitcoin has done this, which is, not a whole lot. And we had hopes in just the last few weeks when Bitcoin went to 97,000 roughly. And then it just shot all the way back down into this range. So I do think we're going to have to wait and see before, anything happens to Bitcoin, is whether or not it wants to go back up from this range or it wants to capitulate lower. Because if we capitulate lower, well, one could argue that we're already in a bear market. If you look at, the percentage that Bitcoin is down right now, we're down roughly 27% from the all-time high. And typically speaking, a bear market is anything after a 20% move. So are we going to see something like this where Bitcoin comes down to this lower range, consolidates here, and then goes lower? Or are we going to see Bitcoin do something like this where it, finds that resistance and is able to break it, come back to test it, and try and hit new all-time highs? Again, I do think that there is a scenario where both are possible if you're thinking about the super cycle or if you're thinking about midterm years and how they're, generally not great. Well, you do have a case for both. But again, nobody knows what's going to happen until it does. So what we can do is be prepared for either scenario. Right now, I have stable coins on the side waiting to buy altcoins if Bitcoin wants to go lower. And I'm not just going to ape in as soon as Bitcoin goes lower, because I'm going to wait and see where Bitcoin really wants to go before, trying to catch a falling knife. On the opposite side, if Bitcoin wants to go back up like it did shortly in the last week or so, well, as we can see, we weren't able to hold the range where, it would have made sense to then enter, because Bitcoin could have found support on this, 2-month range and head higher, but that is not what happened. And we continue in this major waiting game with, crazy upswings every day and even intraday at some points. So that is something to absolutely continue to consider as we navigate the first few months of 2026. I do think that 2026 is going to be an interesting year altogether. It may not be the super cycle, or it may not be the crazy bear market. It may be something in the middle of both. But I do think that at one point in time, alts versus Bitcoin are going to bottom. Bitcoin is also going to bottom, and we are eventually going to get a new wave of bullishness as liquidity enters back into the market. When that is something that I unfortunately cannot tell you guys, but of course, we can make predictions and we can look at different charts and compare history. But again, nothing of that is for sure. The last thing I wanted to leave you guys on is ETH Bitcoin. If we're looking at altcoins, it's important to look at the biggest altcoin, which is Ethereum, and taking a look at ETH Bitcoin on a weekly chart. Well, this is what has happened. We have bottomed in April. We've made lower highs as we've continued upwards for this, which basically means that Ethereum is slowly but surely gaining dominance on Bitcoin. But what we have over the last, 2 months is some very key levels to hold for ETH Bitcoin, because this is a level of support, which was previously resistance. We can see resistance here. Now it's acting as support. So to me, if we really want to see altcoins do something and, trend higher than what we're currently seeing, we're going to have to see more dominance on ETH, less dominance on Bitcoin, so that liquidity can slowly trickle into these other altcoins. And if something like this happens where we get, ETH Bitcoin to roll over, well, unfortunately, you would have basically changed the market structure on ETH Bitcoin, and now you would potentially be making higher lows, which is not the trend we want to go in. Now, on the opposite hand, as we see right now, we are still holding this level as support. So as long as we stay above it and we can bounce on it and then make a higher high from this level, well, it could potentially, change a lot of things in the altcoin sector. But again, if you look at Total 3 right now, what we are seeing is, we've basically seen this trend line since the late parts of 2023. And every time it comes to this, we see a bounce. So we are, in fact, seeing another bounce on altcoins in terms of their market cap. But against Bitcoin, they are still slowly bleeding. And that is what we are still waiting for. So if there is something like this and there's a massive flush on altcoins, well, that is going to be absolutely horrible. Or if this trend line continues upwards and onwards, well, we could see another narrative switch, or we could see altcoins perform better as liquidity comes back into the market. But again, that is something we are going to have to wait and see in 2026. So markets do move very quickly on news, but that only impacts the short-term traders. If you are a short-term trader, you absolutely want to keep paying attention to that, because it's the same playbook over and over again. We talked about this in our Discord on the 18th of January on a Sunday night as this was all happening. We said, I think there's a high chance something is worked out prior to the tariffs being implemented, which is exactly what happened. The EU countries have also threatened to retaliate to their own tariffs, and I basically concluded this point by saying, again, I think this is a big chess match to intimidate, and something more reasonable will be agreed upon, and that is exactly what we saw. So with that being said, keep your eyes peeled on the markets. I'm going to keep you guys up to date as to what's happening in the space. But for now, if you did enjoy the video, do me a solid and smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It truly helps the channel a ton, and I can't thank you guys enough. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.